Hello, everyone. My name is Taylor.
And I'm Kelly.
And we are the co-hosts of Jumping Bomb Audio, the #1 show all about the world of Joshi Pro Wrestling. Episodes drop every other Monday where we discuss the biggest Joshi news, review shows, and preview the hottest upcoming Joshi action.
So whether you're a new fan or an old fan, we've got something here for you at Jumping Bomb Audio.
Check us out on the Voices of Wrestling Podcast Network.
This podcast is a member of the Voices of Wrestling Podcasting Network. Visit voicesofwrestling.com to hear the rest of our great podcasts, as well as show reviews, columns, opinions, and updates across the world of wrestling.
Here we go! Kiss me like a love star. So I'm a cowrie. Whoa, 君へ片思い涙の失恋も So give me 2, give me 5, give me double shadows.
You're listening to the Emerald FlowShow on the Voices of Wrestling Podcast Network.
Welcome to episode 69 of the Emerald FlowShow. We're a podcast on the Voices of Wrestling Podcasting Network, and you can follow us on X at Emerald FlowShow, and you can donate to the show at voiceofwrestling.com/donate. Follow us on all of your favorite podcast apps, and if you're on Apple Podcasts, leave us a 5-star review. Paul, how are you doing today? That's right, episode number 69.
Yeah. I actually didn't realize that it was number 69 until you said it, and I had to literally, like, my finger rushed to the unmute button. I'm doing fine. We're kind of increasing the rate of our episodes right now because there's just so much stuff to talk about.
Yeah, I mean, we can have a bit of a respite because, I mean, we'll have to wait because we're not coming back before N1 starts.
Yeah,
and maybe even a couple of shows in or anything like that.
And it's kind of awkward that we're doing this right now because you just asked me before we start the recording if there's anything I wanted to add to the run sheet. And I literally just remembered something that I wanted to add, and that's the Noah cards for the UK and Germany.
Oh, right.
Whoops.
Yes, of course. I mean, well, we could just start with that real quick. Is there much to say, really?
It's basically the UK gets fucked and Germany gets Axel Tischer versus Naomichi Marufuji.
That's wasn't there was one Noah show that looked okay in the UK.
There was one, I think it was the Manchester one that actually looked pretty good.
But other than that,
no, yeah, the Glasgow show looks like, or Edinburgh, I don't remember. The Scotland one looks atrocious. Like, that one looks really bad. That has like Grado and Marufuji teaming against someone, which, that's not good. Well, like LG Cleary versus Olga Sasaki is like the third best match on paper. That, like, no.
No, they didn't. I mean, who do you think booked them? Do you think Progress booked them, and just with the talent they were given, or Noah had a say, or what do you?
I do think Noah had a say in them because, like I think they definitely, I would say maybe they had like a veto thing at the very least, obviously, because they weren't gonna like let them have like a big singles match that they were gonna use for like something. So like that probably explains why the cards look the way they look. But like, no, I think even for like tag matches, that they don't like give away like Marufuji, or I don't know, like a big like Kaito Keno teaming against like Jack Morris and is Green on these shows? I don't remember. I think so. He is, right?
Oh, really?
I don't remember if he is or not. Yeah, but or let's say like Keno and Kaito was like Los Golpeadores, right? So like that would be something that Noah would probably want to do themselves.
Yeah, but I mean, at the same time, it's an international show, so you could just do like rerun matches you already did in Japan.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like they're not even doing that. Like then they're getting no treats at all. And then I don't think they've announced anything else for the Germany show. But to be quite honest, I was a bit on the fence about going because it happens at the say like as part of like the WXW like tag team festival.
Yeah.
And I was like on the fence for that because the hotels around the arena are just absurdly expensive, like 500 euros minimum for like 3 nights. So I'm like, okay, let me rethink that one. And now I'm probably going to do it. And I'm just going to like stay in the next town over because the trains still run at night.
Okay. So see what happens. Report back. Because I have no clue how the tickets are moving, but I can't imagine.
I mean, that's also really hard to assess because obviously WXW is like for those, right? They're selling like a festival pass where basically you just buy one ticket and you get like all like the tag team shows, and you also get like everything around it, like the hardcore show that they're doing and the women's only show that they're doing as well. And then you can also buy individual tickets for each show as well. And I mean, for the Noah show, they do still have all categories available. But again, it's like, I don't know how many people aside from like me, like, because what I'm probably going to do is I'm going to buy like the tournament pass and then the Noah show individually instead of a full festival pass. But I don't know how many people are like buying just tickets, like would do like a similar setup like that. So I don't know how many individual tickets they're selling aside from the festival passes.
Yeah. Yeah, that's interesting to see and how that will turn out and everything like that. So what's the date on the Germany show again?
That is the 5th of October, so a while away.
Okay, so we still got to and we'll see what happens if they start seeing tickets go on sale in the UK or like, I mean, like discounted tickets in the UK or something, because I can't imagine
with those lineups. I don't know how many more they're going to sell that haven't, like when we even saw some people be like, well, great, like that already felt like they've been sold a bill of goods. But again, that's why you don't buy blind tickets. Sorry. Like, I get that it's exciting that now it's like coming to your neck of the woods, but there always was a risk that they were going to do something like this.
Yes, but it is what it is. And so sticking with a bit of a Noah theme here, Paul, should we talk about perhaps a possible former Noah wrestler for a moment?
See, I've literally had two things where like I had one thing that made me think he is actually a former Noah wrestler, and then another thing that made me think he is definitely coming back.
So why
Jake
do you think he's coming back then?
So basically it's something that like a little later. So it's from the Korakuen show, from the main event there with Jack Morris, where Jack did like Jake's mannerisms and then flipped off the camera and shouted, "Fuck you, Jake Lee." Like that just makes me believe, okay, that like either Morris was shooting there and he was genuinely angry that Jake like fucked off, or they're like setting up a match between these two.
Yeah.
So we'll see. But then the other thing is like Jake having new music. So I'm like, okay, that is weird. Because he literally carried over the same theme from like All Japan to Noah, and now he has a new one.
Yeah, I was gonna say I listened to that theme. I wasn't particularly impressed, I gotta say.
No, that sounds like a modern day WRE theme.
Yeah, did I detect a bit of a shipping up to Boston vibe too?
Maybe. Yeah.
Like,
I mean, that is the kind of music that Jake likes, right? Like he used the heavy as his theme for a while.
Yeah, exactly, right. But no, it's not as good as it Total used, I thought.
Yeah, no, it definitely isn't.
What do you have to say about his matches so far?
I will say his match with Zach was actually good. His match with Zach was like his best match in the tournament so far.
But I wasn't surprised.
Yeah.
Zach can still have a good match with Tanahashi.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's Zach. And also, I mean, I think we actually mentioned that one specifically when it was announced that they were in the same block, that was probably one that was going to be good because they're actually both good mat. Because Jake is a really underrated mat worker. Like if there's anything he actually maybe should be leaning into more, it's that. But yeah, so that went really well, and like Zach carried that a bit as well, because obviously Jake's problem is that he has no fire, and Zach really carried that aspect of it. His other matches haven't been good. Like he lost to Naito again. Like, what the? I thought that was the whole reason he's in this tournament. What the fuck are we doing here? Why is he here?
You know, the 3 losses in a row are interesting given how strongly he went over on night 1 against Sonata.
Yeah.
Right. So I mean,
he hasn't won since then.
No, but I mean, I think he might start winning.
Oh yeah, probably. I mean, if he goes out with 2 points, like I don't know, that would be extremely weird. And then if I'm Noah, why would I want this guy back? He just looked like a complete loser in his entire G1 run.
Well, did you hear Meltzer's quote on audio about Jake Lee in this tournament?
No.
He said, and I quote, "Jake Lee is stinking up the joint."
No. I don't think he's that bad, but I think he just sticks out because it's a good tournament otherwise, and because they got rid of a bunch of the like goobers that they had in that tournament before. So there's like they really trimmed the fat, so he just sticks out negatively.
Well, yeah, but I mean, sometimes being incredibly boring is being actively bad.
Yeah, but like I'd still rather have Jake than like Kenta or Chase Owens or Tangaloa or Hikuleo, right?
Well, okay, fair enough on most of those, but I would just say though, what's Jake doing stock though? Nothing.
Oh no. Yeah, no. Like I'm not saying he's like raising his stock or anything like that, but like I think stinking up the joint is a little bit harsh. But yeah, he's very clearly been the worst guy in the entire tournament. It's just that the tournament's floor has gotten raised by so much year over year.
Right. Well, and I mean, look, and it's also like a telling things like, well, Jake, you want to be a good guy. Zach can still get a good match out of Neto, but what can Jake do with Neto? Nothing good.
Nothing. Yeah. Oh, that Destino looked like utter trash.
And that's the line. Like that's the line between like a good worker and how you can make an opponent look. Right. Yeah. If Jake could say, okay, Mr. No Knees Naito, I can still have a good match with you, then that's something that he simply can't do.
No, that has always been his problem. Like he's a guy that always works to the level of his opponent. Like if he's in there with a great wrestler, more often than not, he has a good to great match. And if he's in there with someone who's not very good, then yeah, he will not have a very good match with that person.
You know what I've heard multiple times and listening to other podcasts when people talk about Jake Lee in the G1, you know what ends up coming up?
That he's tall.
No, how incredible Kento Miyahara is.
Oh yeah, no. Yes, that is true. He made Jake so much money. There's no way Jake is in this G1 if he didn't have like the matches with Kento.
Oh yeah, exactly, right?
He should give Kento a commission on all of his booking fees, really. But so real quick, because this is like the first time since the 2017 Champion Carnival that Jake Lee has lost 3 matches in a row, which sent me. So that was something that Chris Samsa actually picked up on. And that kind of sent me down a little bit of a rabbit hole. And I looked up when a bunch of other like top Japanese wrestlers last kind of lost 3 or more matches in a row. So, and I'm going to give you some of them, and I want you to give me the year when last they lost like 3 or more matches in a row. Okay. I'm going to start off with an easy one. Kaito Kiyomiya.
2023?
Yep, that was the 2023 G1 because that was the one that kind of set me off on the whole thing.
Yeah.
Because he loses to Sonata, Gabe Kidd, Hikuleo, and Ren Narita to like finish off his part of a G1. Okay, then let's go for another one. Let's go for a bit of a more difficult one. Kazuchika Okada.
2009?
Nope. Later than that. Sorry.
2011.
No, even later than that. It is not as long ago as you would think.
Oh, 2018.
Yeah, 2018. He loses to Zack Sabre Jr. Yeah, he loses to Zack Sabre Jr., he loses to Jay White, and he loses to Bad Luck Fale. Yeah, and then let's go for a rather surprise. Let's go for Kento Miyahara.
2020.
Yep, 2023/2024. Because
Okay.
he loses the Triple Crown match to Yuma, he loses
Right.
against Nakajima, and then he loses to Ren Ayabe in the Champion Carnival opener.
Oh wow.
Yep. That one surprised me. I was like, okay, I'm probably going to have to go back far in that one. And I'm like, nope, I'm already done. Okay, that was fast. Suwama.
2023, 2024.
Nope. But you're closer.
2022.
Nope.
2019.
No, it's 2020 actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he loses it was the 2020 Champion Carnival, the well-remembered tournament. Yeah, he loses to Jiro, he loses to Jake, and then he loses to Zeus. Okay, I have two more for you. So, Keno.
2023.
Nope, way earlier than that.
2016.
No, but now you're getting closer.
2018.
No, now you're going the wrong way.
2017. I don't know.
No, it's 2014.
Oh wow!
Like literally just after he jumped to Noah from Michinoku Pro, he lost against Yone twice, and then he loses to Nakajima and Mikey Nichols, and then since then he has never lost 3 singles matches in a row. Okay, and now we have one to end this whole thing off. Keiji Muto.
Singles match, eh?
Singles matches.
Was it 2022, 2023?
It's 2023. So that one is a bit of a because he loses to Nakamura, he loses to Naito, and then he loses to Chono.
Yeah. Oh, right. Technically, you're right.
Yeah,
because I remember the Nakamura and then obviously Naito 2 in a row there. So I thought maybe.
I mean that one actually because obviously that's like right at the very end. So then that kind of set me off on a like trying to hunt when else, and there's like very sparingly where that would have happened. So the only other times I could find for that really were like 1999/2000.
Yep.
So he loses the title to Tenryu, then he loses to Chono at the Tokyo Dome and on January 4th. Then he loses to Chono by DQ in the April Dome they did that year. Then he loses to Kensuke Sasaki, and then then technically the problem is these two happen on the same date. So he wins like against Vampiro in the WCW United States United States like tournament, but then he loses to Mike Awesome, and then he loses to Tank Abbott. So and then like you have to go back like all the way to like 1990 to like his first NWA run, and then in Japan you have to go back to like 1985. So yeah, it kind of set me down a rabbit hole of like, okay, how unusual is it for like a top guy in Japan to like lose 3 matches in a row? And I was surprised. I mean, it is still very rare, but like it can happen to some of them a lot more often than I would have thought.
So the one that I thought maybe you would bring up, and I'm trying to think, I don't know. So
I also looked up Ultimo Dragon, but that one was just insane.
Well, did you get Riki Choshu?
No, I didn't want to go too far back. I wanted to say like relatively recently.
Oh, okay. Because I always think of the 91 G1 got a big 0.
Oh yeah, no, but I would might have been like the only time that happened for him, right? See if I can find it relatively quickly. If I can just read through it.
Yeah, it's so in Riki Choshu, it's 3 in a row. So 1991 G1 Climax Block B to Chono, then to Bam Bam Bigelow, then to Hashimoto.
Well, actually, I have a more recent one than that. I have in 2003. He actually lost 4 singles matches in a row.
To Tenryu?
He loses to Tenryu twice. Then he loses to Takao Omori, and then he loses to Kensuke Sasaki.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, and then obviously, I think probably the next one then is like his like Big Goose Egg tournament.
Yeah. All right. Any other closing G1 thoughts then?
Pretty good tournament, I have to say overall.
I agree. Just my quick hot takes. I think people are overreacting on Callum Newman. And
oh yes.
why. I don't know. Listen, this is like residual Osprey hatred rubbing off on him. Like,
Yeah.
I
I
mean,
feel like a lot of people are
honestly,
gonna turn around on him completely once he like drops the whole Osprey clone gimmick.
whatever. I mean, look. I should probably write an article about this, but that is the future of pro wrestling, whether you like it or not.
Oh yeah,
Especially in North America.
yeah. A lot of people talk about
That's
like, oh, the
just,
future of wrestling is like high school level drama NXT stuff. It's like, no, it's like wrestlers watch like Will Ospreay. That's the
yeah,
future.
that's a future. I'm a little confused. Did people think Yuya Uemura was not good at one point, and then
Yes,
think he's
people for
good
some
again?
reason had convinced themselves of that because
Okay,
he
I
had
sort of missed.
some shaky performances, and I'm like, that's a
Okay,
bit
I
much.
I missed that, so I don't know. But anyway, he looks like a better star than any other young guy in that company.
Yeah, absolutely. I actually took him when we did that like TAW draft. I took him like 7th, and I took him in like the 7th round after like Kento, Anzai, Keno, Oiwa, and Yota Tsuji, and Mochizuki Jr.
Did you do the G1 pick'em?
Yeah, but again, I never changed it from my meme pick of having David Finlay and Jake Lee go unbeaten to go to the finals. So I'm not doing well.
So I was in 6th place, but I don't know if
Ooh,
I
nice. No, I'm like
I might have
500 somethings.
Okay. So we'll see. So we go from that. We talk. Well, I don't know. I don't know if we'll have much more to say about Jake. Maybe we'll wait till the tournament's over to do a retrospective on
Yeah,
to see
and
what happens.
we'll see if he's coming back or not as well.
I'll just add, I actually expect good things from Jake versus Shingo because this isn't a perfect comp, but I thought Jake worked really well with Sugiura. That was his best match in Noah to me. So I think do that.
Yeah, I can see that logic.
Yeah. So a few things to like matches that sort of happened around the place. First of all, the All Japan 6-man titles. The match finally went up from the July 18th Evolution show. Paul, did you get to see it on AJPW.TV?
No, actually, I haven't watched that one.
Okay. So I think it's safe to say, so the match was Hiro Hashimoto, Yu, and Chuji Ishikawa, team 333 kilograms. They defeated Suwama, Mayumi Ozaki, and Mayukihi in 15:22. When Ishikawa pinned Suwama with the Fire Thunder driver. So Shuji Ishikawa was an All Japan champion again and pinned Suwama.
The Noah and All Japan champion. I don't think that ever happened before.
That's right. He still has that hardcore title that he doesn't even come out with. So those of you longtime listeners of the show will remember that I absolutely adored the match that they had in December 2022. I put it on my 10 best matches of the year list.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that this match was as good as that match, but I can safely say that this match was still probably the best AJPW TV 6-man tag team title match.
I mean, sure, I can believe that. I mean, not exactly the highest bar to cross, but
well, I mean, I think the last time, they had that eruption reign wasn't bad. Remember that?
Yeah, true.
And the match where Suwama Ozaki and the titles was actually a nice little match.
Yeah, I mean, it's not that it's been a complete bomb. It's just never had exactly like a classic match out of that one. But I mean, in that case, I might have to check it out then.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying it's like an incredible match or anything, but it's a solid, like 3.5 star, 3 3/4 type thing, right? And I was watching this match. It was getting close to the end. I'm like, I'm gonna have to deduct stars in this match if Chihiro does not give Suwama a German. I can report that Chihiro does in fact give Suwama a German later on in the match.
Ooh, okay. That I definitely have to see.
Which is always the best spot of those matches.
Yeah.
So there's that, and then I guess it's probably just a matter of time before Shuji is back on an All Japan show.
Yeah,
right?
For sure. I mean, that was my prediction anyway, right? He's definitely going to be back on the show before the year is out.
Well, actually, you know what I forgot to add to the run sheet? Should we just talk about Jay Church's appearance on some relevant things to us?
Yeah, we can talk about it.
So, I mean, Jay himself would say these are the things he has heard, and this is not like 100% accurate, but it sounds like as we went over President Fukuda his wife had passed away, and it sounded like that he was not in the best place in late
After that,
2023
yeah.
and early 2024, which also sort of explains why he's also like, back the fuck off.
Yeah, we kind of went a little bit insane at the. All of a sudden, he was basically a character on the show, and then they've cut that back a lot.
Yes, and if anything, he was a big babyface recently on one of these
Yeah.
shows.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they gave him all of the babyface spots. That helps.
So there's that, and then of course Nakajima. Yeah, don't expect him back in All Japan anytime soon. I guess
No.
if that goes. Maybe they try to bring him back for one more match with Kento if it settles the fuck down. But I mean, he's like, consider this: Nakajima's basically a trainer and actress.
God, that fall went fast.
Did you see he posted a picture of him with Nakamura at the show at Sumo Hall?
Yeah. No, I haven't seen that one yet.
And he's holding that UWF title.
Oh, I mean, hey, that's something at least. I mean, I did see that, like, apparently Daisuke Sakamoto was in the wash for too long.
Well,
I did not realize Sami Zayn was that tall.
Yeah, he's like 6'1", 6'2", I think. Sakamoto's short, and Sakamoto's short even for Japanese.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know. I just had thought that he was like not like a head shorter than Sami Zayn. I don't know. I always thought they were like relatively.
He's been in the
similar.
ring. He's been in the ring with Walter. Or
Yeah, that's true. He is in WWE and everything. But I don't even remember him on the Indies being like a tall guy. But maybe because he was so lanky then, and now he's bulked up.
Yeah, for sure, absolutely. So that, I mean, those are the main points, and it sounds like also possibly that Nakajima was making more than Kento.
That doesn't shock me. I mean, I would assume that Noah people earn more, and if they convinced, and if the reason why he wanted to leave Noah was money, then yeah, they had to pay him more than Kento. Like that doesn't shock me.
Now, Jay also said that Jake might have left Noah over money as well.
Yeah, I mean, that might be that Noah is kind of cutting the fat a little bit as well, where like maybe their like salary structure got out of control in the Muto years.
Oh, definitely. They're booking less of the old guys, and they're using them more sparingly. And of course, we might be in the middle of a big foreigner tour.
Yeah, that too.
So
we can like sign them new ones for cheaper as well. And look, like if I'm Noah, I'm like, okay, as much as I like Nakajima, if I'm looking at my like wage budget and I'm like, okay, which of these do I want to keep on the books and potentially want to extend long term as well by like giving them another increase? Kaito Kiyomiya or Katsuhiko Nakajima, like you have to pick Kaito there.
Yeah, absolutely. And also, it sounds like the whole Inoki thing is probably what got him an incredible.
Yeah. I mean, I've been saying that for a while now, right? Where like, they got a literal cease and desist over it, and then the relationship noticeably, like, you could feel like there was a difference in energy after that.
Yeah, definitely. But he's still going with it, basically, right? With the XX style and everything.
Yeah, I mean, it's also him dressing up like, I don't know, Bandit Keith.
Well, look, he's 36 years old, so if he hasn't mellowed out, I don't expect him to ever.
That's true.
Like, if he was true. Like, if he was doing what, I mean, obviously he has the rep, but I mean, if he had mellowed out at like 30 or early 30s, fine, that's what you would. But going on now that he's heading into his mid to late 30s.
Yeah. I mean, maybe he will, like, for some of them it takes longer. Maybe it will take for him, it will take until his 40s, but.
Well, it could be, it could be a case of him like basically having to mellow out so he can make some money.
Yeah, that was also what I was thinking, where basically you kind of like have to actually confront yourself because you kind of run out of avenues to like run away from your problems, basically.
Yeah, exactly right.
Like, I don't know if like maybe he will, some self-reflection will come in when he's like working Joji Otani and Heat Up.
Oh, PPP champion Katsuhiko.
I mean, we're kind of moving in that direction pretty rapidly.
But the question is, like, will he cave on his rate, which is also apparently very high, I've heard. I don't think Jay said that, but I've heard claims that he is asking a lot per match.
I mean, it wouldn't shock me, but then can Great afford that?
Yes, because Great seems to be smartening up because they're not televising one of their Korakuen shows or broadcasting
Yeah.
on YouTube. So they
And
can
they
actually
sold
fight
that Sumo Hall slot to Josh Barnett. I think that's pretty obvious at this point, right? That's what happened
very
there.
probable. We do not know, but it makes sense. But this, I can't remember. What's the great president's name? I can't remember.
Yeah, I don't remember either.
So he seems to really want a wrestling promotion. So this could go on if you want.
Oh yeah, and I mean they do like at least from last we heard they do make a decent chunk of money on their bar business.
Yeah, so this could be a while.
I mean, I'm not against it. Like I said, I do technically like the great roster and all of that. It's just
Yes, absolutely.
booking is just absolute dog shit, and they just have to be like they don't even have to be a smart promotion. They just have to be slightly smarter than they have been.
Yeah. So moving on. So on July 12th, and I didn't even know the show was happening. Mr. Kuroshio Tokyo Japan held a proto show at Blue Face, and whatever happened, I don't know if the results ever got posted anywhere. But this show never showed up on like Cage Match or Pearl Love or anything like that. However, it did eventually pop up on All Japan TV. I watched the top 2 matches. Paul, did you watch anything from the show?
No, I didn't.
Okay, so I didn't bother to check what the whole card was. Jiro wrestled multiple matches on this show, including a tag match where Aja Kong was on his opposing side. But the semi-main event was Jun Kasai versus Sego Tachibana in a hardcore match.
That sounds
it was pretty
good.
It was good.
Was it good? Okay.
In fact, I'm going to have a hot take and say it was better than other hardcore match that we were going to be talking about in a minute.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then in the main event was Jiro versus Shun Skywalker. Now I gotta say, Shun is a pretty good foil for someone like.
Oh yeah, no, I can see that, yeah, because he's just one of the best, if not the best heel in the entire wrestling business right now.
I would argue, you could tell that they were Shun. You could tell was not working, max effort, but I still thought it was a pretty fun match. Jiro wanted to work hard, and Shun did his part well. Like again, 3.5, 3 3/4. So I would.
Who went over in that one?
Pardon?
Who went over in that one? Oh, okay, yeah. I would have been shocked if he didn't.
And sorry, Kasai won. Kasai beat Tachibana.
Okay.
That should have been kind of obvious.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean those are on AGPW TV, and I suggest watching them.
Okay. Yep, I might check that one out as well if I have some time.
So we move on to DDT Wrestle Peter Pan 2024 from July 21st at Sumo Hall in front of 4,131 fans, which they called a Supernova. Makes sense considering that they call 1,000 people in Korakuen a Supernova.
Yeah. The DDT standard.
I don't know. I mean, if you grade on a curve of DDT since the pandemic, this is actually pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, it's way more than they did last year.
Yeah.
I have to say, I skipped the entire undercard, then I watched the Takagi match, and then I skipped straight to Takeshita versus Tanaka.
Okay, so I watched Harada versus Super Sasadango Machine. Again, I complained last time you guys had a match. This was only slightly funnier because Harada put on like some Masahiro Chono sunglasses in the middle of the match, and then they played the Chono theme. And then Super Sasadango lost his mask to reveal him looking like Keiji Muto with the goatee and the bald head.
I did see that later when he came out during the
Takagi
match.
And then he did a Shining Wizard, which to me was mildly more amusing than the slow motion spots of their last match.
Yeah.
And then we had Jun Akiyama, Yuki Onaya, and Tomomitsu Matsunaka defeating Minoru Suzuki, Shuji Ishikawa, and Hikaru Sato in 12-18 with a wrist clutch backdrop suplex from Naya on Sato. Solid match. I enjoyed this, comparatively to what the opening matches were that were more comedy heavy. So it was a fun match. I wanted to see Akiyama and Ishikawa mix it up and everything like that. And then so we go to the Shanshiro Takagi Indefinite Rest Royal Road Final Weapon Rumble Iron Man Heavyweight Title. Danshuku Dino defeated Shanshiro Takagi in 2054 with the Gotch style Danshuku Driver. Paul, I'll let you take it away if you have any other thoughts other than me.
I didn't really.
I don't know. This match isn't for me.
Yeah.
Obviously, Ibushi was a big surprise.
Yeah, that's really the only thing. It's like Ibushi, but like I don't know. Like some people went crazy for that, and I get that there was some heat there and all
absolutely.
of that. But like it's wrestling, and this only so excited I can get for 2024 Kota Ibushi. That's the other thing. And the match itself, I just don't like the Dino stuff. I find it very, very off-putting. There was also some stuff in there. Like some of the comedy spots, some of them I was just not amused at all. I thought the tram match blew this match out of the water, and it wasn't even really close.
Yeah, I mean, this has like a ridiculous rating on.
Good thing that it's only WWE matches that skew ratings on Cage Match.
Yeah, this would be the first. Well, that's not the first definitely skewed match. I mean, this whole show has a 904, which I think
it's a bit much, but it was a really good show. But yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so it's gone down to 8.96, but it was over 9 for a while.
That's still pretty. Yeah, it was like, wasn't it like third or something on like Cage Match for a while?
Okay, listen to this. It's got 50 10s, 19 9s, 14 8s, 7 3 7, or 3 7s, 3 6s, 2 5s, and 2 2s.
That's yeah. I mean, that's what I mean. Where it's like, no, like Cage Match was never like a perfectly unbiased resource. You always had to do some like fiddling with the ratings, essentially.
Yeah,
so, yeah.
Or like look out for certain users to read their review.
Yeah, that for example would be a good one.
For example, like there's like a bunch of old All Japan matches that only have like one review and they're all from, like I'm talking from like the early 80s and the 70s, and it's just like Kinch.
Yeah,
he's the only person that's reviewed them.
Yeah,
like, those are something like that, right?
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, like I said, I probably will never really like. Obviously, I'm never really gonna be like liking this Dino stuff because yeah, it's very off-putting. I also don't think this is like Takagi's retirement because they did like a tease, right? That they played it off as a joke even within the match. Like I feel like actually that he might have gotten like this whole like change in the corporate structure of Cyberfight. I think maybe might have also been like Cyberfight dinging him a bit, being like, hey, you're in the ring too much. You need to like spend more time in the corporate office. And now he's like, okay, I'm going to take a bit of a step back from the ring and do more office stuff. But I don't think he's like completely gone. Like, especially now that Ibushi's back, like he's definitely going to want to do something with Ibushi.
Yeah. I don't know. I thought Ibushi looked actually not bad.
I still want to see him in an actual proper match. Like I'm still not convinced that this isn't a bit of smoke and mirrors.
Yeah. So, I mean, presumably that DDT is probably going to base when he's recovered in Japan at least.
Yeah. Which makes sense because I'm not shocked that Noah would be like, you know what? No, after the
or Great
show. Yeah. Well, Great might also just not be able to afford him.
Yeah. So then next up, the KOD 6-man tag team title survival 4-way match. Daisuke Sasaki, Kanon, and MJ Paul defeated Hiroshima, Yazu, Urano, and Akito. And in 1730, and also other teams were Aja Kong, Shunma Katsumata, and Toy, and Masahiro Takanashi, Antonio Honda, and Takeshi Masada. And so it came down to the Damnation TA team against Takanashi, Honda, and Masada. And then Sasaki got Masada in the face lock. This was really just a spot fest. It was good where it was on the card because then things picked up.
Okay, fair enough. Like I said, I didn't watch the match. The only thing I saw was Kawakami coming out after the match and apparently joining Damnation.
He did, yes. And I'm still not sure what's going on.
Yeah, that still is so weird because he's just on great shows all the time.
Yeah. And
I guess maybe it is just him. Yeah, I think it's just them doing a really fancy way of saying he's just a freelancer now.
Maybe he is, or maybe it was just an angle to also have him pop up Damnation.
DDT. Yeah, who knows?
Yeah, it's not. In the end of the day, it's not really a big deal if he's there or not.
Yeah, but speaking about great.
Yes, KOD tag team title. Tetsuya Endo, Yuki Ino defeated Go Shiozaki.
No, you're missing the Takeshita versus Tanaka match.
Right. Konosuke Takeshita defeated Masato Tanaka in 1442. I mean, this was awesome.
Yeah.
They just got down to business and walloped each other. And, I mean, Tanaka, I was like, he's slowing down a bit.
And then he pulls out something like this.
And takes that insane bump, Blue Thunder Bomb from the apron through.
God, that one was crazy. I was like, holy, why are you taking this at like 50 something.
Now, I suppose if you're running around in Real 0-1, you.
Oh yeah, no, this was very clear. Like this was like because we liked the match with Segura, right? But this was on a whole nother level. Like this was awesome. I went like 4.5 on this, just insane from start to finish. I love this one.
Mhm.
And Takeshita also just like knocking him out with that elbow. It was a great finish too.
Do you think that on these big DDT shows, we're just going to see Takeshita versus outsiders because they don't want to have DDT guys lose to Takeshita? Because God knows when they'll be able to get their win back.
Yeah, I think that's totally the reason where like AEW is blocking them from like having him lose. So they're like, okay, then we might as well just do these kinds of matches, and then they probably draw some money as well, and Takeshita can win, and we don't have to sacrifice our own guys.
Well,
they're probably going to do like something like Takeshita versus Marufuji at some point.
Yeah. Well, Paul, let me ask you this. Do you think there's an agreement to allow Takeshita to lose to, spoiler alert, Ueno at some point?
Maybe, but that would be about the only one I could even see. Like DDT would have to argue for that one a lot, I feel like. One that I might be interested in is, are they going to go for Takeshita versus Ibushi?
Yeah.
Right, because that's technically 2 AEW guys.
Right.
But probably not a bad match that like Tony would want to book for himself, so that he could probably get away with doing that in Japan. And that would be a legit draw as well.
Yeah. That sort of makes, because they do have a Tokyo Dome.
Yeah.
But maybe Ibushi can't be on that show.
Yeah, who knows how the politics of that one work.
Right. We'll see.
And luckily it's in the Dome and not the Budokan, because Ibushi's banned from the Budokan.
Yeah. And then we go to the KOD Tag Team title. Tetsuya Endo and Yuki Ino defeated Go Shiozaki and Tsushi Katoge in 2037 with the Burning Star press from Endo on Katoge. And this was pretty great too. I mean, an awesome tag team match. Really great finish with Katoge and Endo. Katoge busting up the headbutt and getting cut open, but Endo surviving and hitting that Burning Star press. Endo and Ino, very sneaky case for tag team of the year, in my opinion. But they have
absolutely
been pretty good. I'm seeing not pretty good, pretty great actually, in all they do. And we're about now halfway through the year, so I think, and I don't see them dropping these titles at any time soon. Although this is DDT we're talking about, them to like
Dino and Takagi.
Yeah, like 2 weeks from now or something. But yeah, I mean, this was definitely once we were getting into the business end of the show, and I mean, look, with AEW's tag team division flailing, I will absolutely stand by and say that this is probably one of the best tag team matches of the year so far. Really,
I mean, absolutely.
What else has there been?
No, this is definitely this is really far up there for my favorite tag. Like I'm even thinking about if it is my favorite tag team match of the year. I
think I actually like the Saitos versus Kento slightly more.
Yeah, they're definitely that's basically the two. Like they're really, really close to me.
But if any company, let's call All Japan and small to medium size, you can outpace because of how tag team wrestling is in AEW, how tag team wrestling is in New Japan. You could put together a killer tag team division that's one of the best in wrestling, not that difficult these days.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's gonna look the best ever, but I'm just saying it's not hard. Something that is arguably one of the best things in the tag team right now if you wanted to.
No, but I also agree that like Endo and Ino are like have a sneaky kind of tag team of the year run going there as well.
What have Astronauts even done this year?
Not much. Like for me, it's like the Saitos are the other ones that there. And then I'm already struggling to come up with some like Los Golpeadores, Yohei and Tadasuke.
Oh yeah, Noah too, I should say. Sorry, I forgot about Noah. They're tag teams as well.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the tag.
Yeah, Green and Morris.
Yeah.
Like I would say Noah actually has the best, like if you combine both like heavyweights and juniors, they actually have the best tag team division.
Yeah.
But like I still think like, and I still probably, if I think about it, I probably like Endo and Ino a bit more than Green and Morris, but it's close. But like basically that's like my top three would be like the Saitos, Endo and Ino, and Green and Morris.
I think that's a very fair.
Yeah. Because I don't think even any like, and it's not even just because those are like the ones we mainly cover, right? Because I'm struggling to think of anyone outside of those really.
No, nobody's doing much.
No.
I mean, it's entirely if they wanted to, the Bucks could probably put together a tag teaming talent of the year if they wanted to, but I'm not sure how committed they are to doing that.
Yeah. I mean, there's probably someone that I'm not thinking of in like Dragon Gate because I've kind of fallen out of it.
Doi and Dragon Kid.
Oh yeah, that's true.
I'm sure if you ask Alan Forel, he will tell you that they are the tag team.
Yeah, I mean, he's saying Doi is the like wrestler of the year, so
that is perfectly reasonable.
Yeah, it's not an unreasonable take.
I was gonna say though, Oiwa and Kiyomiya could have been trending that way, but that's not gonna happen.
No, that's not happening now.
Because by the end of the year, the Saitos will have so many more matches together in it.
Yeah.
But if they had won those tag team titles and held off the breakup, Oiwa and Kiyomiya could have actually probably to be tag team of the year.
Absolutely no, they because they were great together. But yeah, that's never happening now, unfortunately.
And then semi-main event, dramatic dream match, no DQ. El Desperado defeated Chris Brooks in 22-12 with the Pinche Loco on the barbed wire board. Well, I did not like it.
Okay.
It had all of the stuff in a hardcore match, and I am not automatically against hardcore. It's definitely not my favorite style. It's not. It's just I prefer the more traditional. It's not even being grossed out. And I'm not grossed out by the staple guns. It's just boring. I've seen this before where they just seem to run and staple each other and everything like that. No, I will say the last couple minutes where they're hitting the big moves was fine. But I didn't care about this. I didn't care about Schadenfreude coming out to interfere. Whatever. I think that these two guys, especially El Desperado, if you think about the other matches he's had, like that one against Jun Kasai, this and even Chris Brooks' other matches, this failed to live up to the other stuff that these two men have done. Also,
see, I disagree. I really like this match actually. I like that like it was like violent right off the bat. I actually liked it like pretty much immediately. They just went for like Despy just ripping off his mask and just going maskless.
Okay, yeah, that's
looking like an absolute madman, just completely covered in blood.
Yeah,
like that was a pretty great look. Like
that Crimson Mask was.
Yeah. And I agree, like the Schadenfreude run was that was like the low point of the match for me. But that was really like the only one. I thought like they did pretty well otherwise. I thought like the wrestling in general, like that they just did otherwise was pretty good. I thought the spots looked impressive that they did as well. And like that barbed wire that they used looked pretty nasty too because it just like stuck to people. So like if it like obviously it was work to some degree, but like if like it still looked pretty dangerous and everything. And yeah, I don't know. I just thought it was a pretty good, like pretty great, like hardcore match. I would go like 4 stars on it. Yeah, probably would have gone higher without like the run-ins in there, but otherwise I thought it was a pretty strong like hardcore match that like you could like feel kind of like to me you could feel kind of like deep like anger between the two.
Okay, well, I'll say this. If you like this match this much, you will not think that Tachibana versus Drew Kasai is better than this.
Okay, fair enough.
I don't know. I guess I'm a stickler for hardcore matches. Like I would absolutely have like those classical Takeda matches. I have no problem. 4.5 stars like match, but a lot of the stuff does fail.
No, I mean fair. Like if like because the Takeda matches are a bit like unusual in terms of like hardcore matches and well not unusual, but like they are like work like slightly different as well, right? Because they just work like traditional wrestling matches with like hardcore stuff. Like it's basically just rolling around on the mat, but like the mat is covered in glass. And this wasn't that. This was a lot more like a traditional like death match. And yeah, if you're not into that structure, then I can see where this wouldn't land. But I like that structure, and I think they did it really well. Like my takeaway from this was actually that El Desperado might be like, or not might be, but is one of the best deathmatch wrestlers in all of Japan. Which I don't know if that's an indictment of the Japanese like deathmatch scene.
No. Well, I think people have already said that, right? Haven't they?
Yeah, but like to me, it was like I didn't have enough of a sample size, but I do think now I have enough of a sample size to say that.
Well, also like some of the first death matches I would have ever watched were like the Tomoaki Hanma versus like Ryuji Yamakawa matches in Big Japan, and those were also wrestled like they were King's Road with like two.
Oh, yeah. That can have an influence there. I can see that.
So that like, that's what I was watching. So that has an effect on me.
That explains a lot, yes.
And then the main event in title, Yuki Ueno defeated Mao in 29-44 with the WR to successful defense of the title. I very much enjoyed this match. Paul, I know that you loved it even more than I did, so I'll give it to you in a minute. But I will just address the criticism because I would use on Cage Match about how this is just a bunch of move spamming with no connective tissue. I can't necessarily disagree with that, but I don't get worked up about that as some people do. And I'm happy with them just going out being crazy nearly half an hour. I thought actually though, like the finish of the match with the build up to the WR and how like Ueno really had to work to hit it because with motion, I thought that was a nice touch. And I think probably also that the dropkick battle drove some people crazy, but I thought it was cool, and because I
thought that was so
that.
fucking awesome.
So, Paul, you love this even more than I did, so the floor is yours.
Yeah, I actually went full 5 stars, and this is my match of the year right now. I was actually surprised, and like because you go 5 if you feel like a 5-star match, it's a 5-star match, right? And then I looked around afterwards and was like, oh wow, I'm way higher than anyone else on this. Cool. So yeah, no, I can kind of get where people are like, yeah, that this is just a move spam match, but like that to me is like that was literally the story of the match, right? Because like the story of the match is that like Ueno and Mao are friends, right? And like basically what they're doing is here, like they're like showing off to each other as well. Where it's like, yeah, but I don't think they like lost the whole thing of like I still want to beat you. Like I think they still kept the competitive spirit in there, but it was much more of a friendly competitive spirit, right? And it's not something we often see in wrestling. Like it was still worked like a competitive match, but it was also worked like I'm gonna show off now. Like that's basically how both of them did it. Like, and then
they also did the angle where Mao left Sonic
the Kamina,
Sonic
exactly,
Kamina.
right?
No.
Like and then basically like afterwards he like didn't rejoin them either. So I feel like this is really like the first of like a series of matches where like I think this will actually turn into like a more heated rivalry now. Like I think we might actually like this might be the start of like the breakdown of the friendship of Yuki Ueno and Mao. And then we're actually gonna like see a lot more like violence and like the next matches that they're gonna have. But like I mean, and they also did like the whole thing of like Mao not wanting to show weakness, right? Like him like trying to be like, nah, I'm too cool to like sell your moves or whatever. But like you could just see like in a way, like for example, like you know how like Misawa would do his selling, right? Where like Misawa wouldn't like no sell things, but he would sell in a way of like, like I'm not hurt. Well, right? Like his selling was like pretending that it didn't hurt. It was a fake no sell essentially, and that's kind of what Mao did in this match, where like he didn't no sell like Ueno's moves, but he did the fake no sell essentially, where like he was very clearly hurt, but he was just pretending that he wasn't, and that he was just strong enough, and that he was definitely gonna win. Because I've also seen like the criticism of the match that it never felt like Mao was going to win, and I don't think that. I definitely had a couple of times where I thought Mao could like definitely win this match. And also, like, yes, it was very much a spot fest, and some of these spots were just amazingly cool. Like, let's be real here. Like that time when like Mao was like running at Ueno, and then Ueno like turned that around into a sleeper and like in like absurdly smooth motion. Like I literally had to like rewind it to like wait a minute. Okay, I need to like see again how he actually did that, because I'm not sure. Because he would just turn into a blur and then reappeared behind Mao and put him in a chokehold. Like it reminded me like the last time I saw a spot like that where I actually had to like rewind multiple times to really figure out how they did it, was when Nakamura turned the Rainmaker into an armbar. Because it was like kind of like that, where it was just way too smooth to be real. And I thought this was just a really cool match top to bottom. I like the story that they told here, right? Because it was basically like two friends, and then one friend is just stronger than the other one, and then the other friend in the post match is like, actually kind of can't accept it. And I feel like that is a story that gets started now that is kind of going to define DDT over the coming years.
Yeah, I mean, there's really no one else ready. I think Masada. They're gonna push Masada fast, but I really do think Mao is the next.
Yeah,
I think that's pretty clear. I mean, you never know, but I think Mao should take that title or something.
yeah, and they kind of need a top heel. Like who's the top heel in DDT right now?
Daisuke Sasaki.
Exactly, and Daisuke Sasaki isn't pushed anymore for good reason. So, they desperately need someone at the top. Like, they desperately need a top heel, and I think that's what Mao is going to become.
Oh, you think that's a heel?
Yeah, I think it's going to turn heel, and like that's like where this is going, and he's gonna become like I hope he doesn't join Damnation. That I think that would be a mistake, because I think that has run its course just so much. But yeah, I feel like that's where this is going, and then he's like gonna take the title from Ueno eventually.
Yeah, that makes the most sense. But again, you never know. For all we know, Yuki Onaya gets the title winning.
Or he loses it to Daisuke Sasaki.
Yeah, you never know. It sort of reminds me of like the worst of All Japan Book 2.
Yeah.
And everything like that, right? Just like they go some completely ridiculous direction. In fact, if anything, DDT's been doing that much longer. Akiyama era All Japan or anything.
Yeah, I mean, kind of always has been kind of the bread and butter, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Have kind of weird booking. But even if Mao isn't taking the title of Ueno here, I still do think like this is going to be kind of a big important thing for the promotion going forward. Like this was only the first match of a series.
Yeah, and I'll be very curious to how this evolves, because are they going to do something like how can they top themselves unless they try to wrestle a more like psychological match or something like that, right?
Yeah, because that's what I'm thinking, right? Like that's what I'm thinking. Like this was the show-off match, and then everything going forward is going to have a lot more like psychology, because both of them can do that.
Yeah. Especially, well, I would say Ueno more. So.
Yeah, Ueno more so than Mao, for sure, but still.
Yeah. So that is DDT Wrestle Peter Pan, and was it Ultimate Party's now going to be on December 28th this year?
I think
they
announced something for sure, yeah.
But it's going to be in Sumo Hall again. That is interesting.
Man, I really don't want to do a Japan trip immediately after, but like, my God, is that like New Year's time stacked?
Mm-hmm. Well,
I can't get cheap flights anymore now.
Well, here's the thing. With you're moving into like the year before, right? So you got like what I like Ultimate Party. Let me just,
because it used to be that it's just the ones after, which made sense because that's like a big holiday. But I would also assume that like a bunch of people in Japan also like save up their time off, and obviously there's a lot of foreigners like me that are coming in as well.
Yeah. Ultimate Party December 28th. So now you have like December 28th, and then December 31st. Now seems to be All Japan show at Yoyogi.
Yeah.
So it's becoming like bleeding.
There's still the New Year's Eve thing. There's 0-1 announced, like their 1-1 show, which is going to be
Otani.
So
all tickets 3,000 yen.
Yeah.
So the fact is, you want to like catch a flight on Christmas Day. No.
I mean, there are some that are doing that, right? Like, I mean, I just brought up the Puvota schedule. So you have Freedoms is running on the 25th of December.
Yeah.
Then there's someone else that has like a big show at Dragon Gate in Hyogo. That's just a house show. Saturday you have TTTT running Kurikan Hall. Stardom is going to have a show in Tokyo. Actress Girls
they've also been running like a couple days in the last couple of years as well.
Yeah. Actress Girls has a Kurikan on the 29th. Great has a show announced for the 30th in Tokyo Dome City Hall. Ice Rhythm on the 31st. Ice Ribbon has a Kurikan. Yeah. So like there's a lot of stuff that is already getting like put into like pre-New Year's Eve now.
Yeah, just you got to stay around longer if you want to do that New Year trip.
I hope. Well, I mean, that's kind of what I did this year, right? Where I came and I landed on the 29th and then left on the 15th to really like get in a bunch of stuff, like even the stuff that happens. Like you want to do all of the wrestling shows, but then you also want to see Japan, so you don't want to like stick around for just that first week where there's all of the wrestling shows. Like you actually want to like use some time as well to like go around Japan and see all of the stuff that's happening there in winter, which is also really cool.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just gonna hope that that's still going to be the case 2025 into 2026. So watch like everybody go out of business next year. And no one not running Budokan January 1st. I just know that will happen. They just put that on alternating, and I'm on the other part of the alternating and just know that that's what's happening here.
Yeah, exactly. So we move on to Pro Wrestling Noah, who on July 20th had another Limit Break show, Limit Break X at Yokohama Radiant Hall in front of 252 fans. First match, Jun Akiyama defeated Yu Owada in 11 minutes and 14 seconds with Exploder, and I love this.
Yep.
This was just exactly what you wanted it to be. Uncle Jun and the young guy, and Owada got his hope spots, and then Jun just put him away with a really nasty looking Exploder where it looked like he landed right on his head.
Yeah. Jun Akiyama just like beating up young boys is always going to be entertaining because he's just genuinely amazing at it.
Yeah. Next up, we had Hide Kubota and Yasu Kubota, the Kubota brothers from Real 01, defeated Tomomitsu Matsunaga and Takumi Sato in 9:08 with the Ya Swanton Bomb from Yasu on Saito. This was just there. And then for the third match, Yoshitatsu defeated Junya Matsunaga in 10:11, the flying kneel kick from the top rope. Paul, I thought this was actually pretty good.
Yeah, I was shocked. I went into this expecting nothing, and I was like, yeah, this is actually pretty decent.
So I think Mr. Tatsu feels like he needs to work hard so he can job. That's got to be something.
Maybe he has come to his point of like mellowing out. It's when Nakajima will be in like 5 years.
And he's not doing stupid gimmicks.
No, he just does straightforward work. I was like,
he's not running some bizarre angles. Completely disconnected from the rest of the company. I mean, Matsunaga, Paul, Junior Matsunaga, I would argue, is technically a main eventer in pro. I mean former Fire Festival winner, Junior Matsunaga.
Which, by the way, is happening right now. Not that anybody would notice, because again, they have a broadcast deal with Wrestle Universe, but for some reason those shows don't make it. So, whatever.
Oh, they're running shows for the Fire Festival that have like 2 matches.
Yeah, but then they have shows where like Fuminori Abe has 2 tournament matches on one show.
Yeah, it is truly
like
bizarre.
What is happening?
Paul, good news. It was taped for Samurai. So today was the finals of the Fire Festival at Korakuen Hall. We do not have a number, but
that's not a good sign.
The first match of the show was a Fire Festival Block A first place decision match. Sugataka Sato defeated Fuminori Abe in 10:39. Do you know who the other finalist of the Fire Festival was?
Yeah, I actually just looked it up. I have it open as well. That's something. But you forgot the most prestigious thing on the show.
What?
The Albuquerque Cup Junior Tag Tournament Final.
Takumi Baba and Takuya Sugawara defeated Seki Yoshioka and Yusuke Kodama.
I mean, that actually doesn't sound too bad.
Why is Sugawara junior?
Why is the Albuquerque Cup in 01?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't. I mean, to be fair, they do use the old AWA title, so maybe this shouldn't be shocking.
Anyway, Sugataka Sato defeated Koji Doi in the finals of the Fire Festival, and really, I mean, it made the most sense. I mean, look, Sugataka Sato and Junior Matsunaga are like essentially.
That's your roster, really.
Those are your top guys.
Yeah.
That's what I was trying to say with Matsunaga. Now, I might be getting ahead of myself, but I mean, I do believe that 01 is.
I mean, in our lifetimes, yes. I think because I think people generally underestimate just the sheer cockroach nature of Japanese wrestling promotions, because they'll just claw to life any way possible. But yeah, 01 seems in really, really, really dire straits. But I mean, the fact, because like, for example, I mean, you really have 2 choices, right? You either shut it down when it's still kind of okay. Like, that's what Wrestle 1 did, right? Like, Wrestle 1 was like, okay, this isn't working.
I thought their backers had, like, their funders had backed down.
Yeah, that as well. But then, for example, they could have done what 01 is doing, right? And just shrink continuously, just this like constant bleed of just talent and like viewership until you just I don't know, just really at the bottom, which is kind of where they are now. And then who knows if that is sustainable financially or not. And then maybe you can carry on as this just complete shadow of your former self. Because eventually you've shrunk enough and you're down to your base that isn't going to abandon you, that like you can probably just keep going. But I don't know if like that's where 0-1 is. But I do think like eventually that base will also like literally die off, and then you can't like replenish your talent at all anymore. And then it's just over. And I do feel like that. I mean, that might happen to 0-1 this year, but it might also happen to them in 20 years.
Well, the reason I bring this up, because I mean, I don't think Junya could be like a main eventer anywhere else.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it would be a good pickup for an All Japan or a mid.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Like he's definitely a guy that you can put on your roster, and he's like a guy, for example, you could put in a champion carnival to like lose a bunch of matches.
Oh, for sure.
Because you need like guys that like can lose as well in these tournaments, and he's like perfect for that.
Paul, when I was watching this, I was thinking about this, and I envisioned a tag team with him and Hokuto.
Yeah, nope, that sounds right up his alley. That get like 4 points in a real world tag league. Yeah, that seems like his destiny. If they A ever go down, or B he just eventually just leaves the promotion, which might also be just a thing that happens too.
Oh yeah,
where he's like All Japan is not like amazing money, but I feel like undercard wrestlers in All Japan make more than like main eventers in 0-1.
Yeah, exactly. Or
True. Yeah. I mean, Hito. So, you know who's going to come in and save 0-1?
Who?
Katsuhiko Nakajima.
They definitely...
They have a deal with Noah. No, that actually, never mind. That they're not gonna allow that.
They can't afford him. They'd have to have like a 2-match.
I mean, they already are. What's the difference?
Yeah, I know. So I just wanted to talk about that because I thought this was like a shockingly good match.
Sorry, we got derailed on that one completely. I was like, wait, where were we?
Yeah, but I was like, oh damn, this is a lot of fun. And I mean, I thought Matsunaga would look great, and I thought Yoshitatsu worked hard. So next up, Koji Iwamoto and Yuto Kikuchi defeated Atsushi Katoga and Kohei Kinoshita in 1556 with the Koko no Get from Iwamoto on Kinoshita. Again, I thought this was a really good match. Kikuchi could absolutely fit in a larger promotion if given the chance. And I thought Iwamoto versus Katoga stuff was good, so I really enjoyed this.
Yeah, like I said, I'm just hoping, but it does seem like Iwamoto just wants to be like a part-timer now.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, if he's willing to like do like, I don't know, like similar to what he did with All Japan, right? Where he just comes in for like a quick run, does a title match, and then leaves. Like, I think he would be like a good opponent for like an Amaxa or someone like that.
Mm-hmm. And then Muhammad Yone, Hiroki, and Harutoki defeated Masato Tanaka, Chris Weiss, and Takuya Sugawara in 1427. The Stuka Splash from Hiroki on Sugawara. This went on too long.
Yeah, you could have cut some fat on that one.
Yeah, I actually enjoyed the first half of the show, and then I thought the show kind of was like, Goshi was in the main event. Go Shiozaki and Kazuyuki Fujita defeated Akitoshi Saito, Shuji Ishikawa in 2203. The strong arm lariat from Shiozaki on Saito. I don't know. I kind of expected a little better from this. It was really boring at times. Saito and Shiozaki tried hard towards the end, and I was expecting more between Ishikawa and Fujita, but that didn't happen.
Yeah, I don't know I guess maybe this is like a way for them to run out Fujita's dates. Like, this is what this feels like, where they still haven't booked for a couple of dates, but they don't want to put him on main Noah shows, so they just put him on these like limit break shows.
Wait, was he on the Budokan show?
Was he? I don't think he was. Am I misremembering that?
I could have sworn.
Wait. Let's take okay. Now I need to find. But I mean, like, sure, you can put him on that level of show, but he was on the Budokan show. But well, he was on the pre-show, or what they labeled as the pre-show, which was like where he lost. Wait, when did he join Real?
Who knows? That could just be cage match.
But they put him in somebody put him into the faction on there. Like, he's on the page as a member of the faction.
Oh, really? Oh, I don't know.
Wait, actually, we can check that even faster. Because the Noah website is now available in English. So let's see what he's tagged as there. If he's tagged as a member of Real or not. Because I don't remember that happening. But then otherwise, right, aside from that, he was on limit breaks and
No,
then on a
on
Kurikan.
the Noah website, Hideki is still a member of Real.
Oh, yes, which is still very funny that he's even still on there. It very much has like the energy of like dad's gonna come home from like buying milk like any day now.
So Fujita still worked 10 matches.
But that's still way down, and it's like very much in a reduced role as well.
Oh yeah, other than that, Jake single smash against Jake Lee, it's all been undercard tags.
Like, what the fuck was the point of that one? Like, now that like everything that has happened since then, like that one seems even more baffling now than
And
it did
don't
back
forget,
then.
Jake had that challenge of Wagner.
Yeah, like what the fuck was that? I mean, hey, you know what I can say is that was Noah's worst booking decision of the year.
Yes, that was.
Which that's a read that if that's Noah's if it stays that way, that's an amazing year for Noah if that's their worst booking decision of the year. It's not jinx it, but so far that's the weirdest thing they've done in their booking, which is amazing by Noah standards.
It is, right? So yeah, comparatively, that is fine. And Jake's could be gone, right? So it looks even less worse.
Yeah.
In hindsight.
Yeah, who knows?
If he's
if he's gone or not. Like it's really, I don't know. I legitimately just always get like signals both way every single time. I get like signal one way and then immediately I get something that makes me think, oh, maybe he is actually coming back. So who the fuck knows?
I would, even though I thought this show lost steam, I would still say that I am very much enjoying.
Mm-hmm. And we're getting Wrestle Magic back.
Yes, this October, Wrestle Magic returns. So now we go to the next day on July 21st at Cork and Hall for Star Navigation 2024. Paul, I haven't been able to see this show, I should say. What do I need to know about this show?
I mean, attendance, first of all, it drew 903, which I will say that actually exceeded my expectations. Because again, it was up against Peter Pan in the same city, which way bigger show. And like not just that, it was like even if you like factor in like I don't know people traveling and all of that, like to some degree at least, like it was night one of the G1, and it was also Kobe World, so just absurdly like stacked lineup of shows that it was against. Like I actually expected them to draw like 600 people because this was just a complete like house show card. Like there was not a lot here. Like I can't even really recommend much of anything. Like the junior tag team title match was fine, but Cristobal again was a pretty much a non-factor on here. I mean, you had like I actually like Inamura and Sawyer versus Ken and Olga Sasaki, simply also because of like just absurdly like jacked Manabu Sawyer. Just it's insane like how the fuck he like transformed his body while he was injured. And he cut like a promo
Eating
after the match as well.
And saying his prayers.
Yeah, no, he probably asked AJ for some vitamin tips. And he cut a promo afterwards, but I'm like starting to think it's like, is Sawyer gonna win the N1?
I think you could actually
he might.
It's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
Because then you do the match in like October at Kiyomiya. You give I mean, to me, this will be Sawya's gold watch title.
No. I mean, if he's winning now. That's the thing. If he ever does, it's now. It's literally now or never.
And then you can kick Oiwa versus Kaito down the road to.
Yeah. That's the only thing where I'm like, he's definitely not winning. Like if he gets a title matches here because they have to do Oiwa versus Kaito. But if they somehow do Oiwa versus Kaito before Sawyer versus Kaito, I think he's beating Kaito. Like if this is like the January 1st match, like if they like, you know, like you do it like literally year over year where Sawyer comes back a year later and like looks like the way he looks now and then beats Kaito in Budokan. So I actually can't rule that one. Like, but yeah. And then really from the main event, it was a pretty good match as well. Like again, nothing super memorable. And the one spot I wanted to talk about, I already mentioned, which was like Jack Morris doing like the Jake Lee mannerisms and then shouting "fuck you, Jake" at the camera.
Yeah. How was this match? Because it looks like it could be.
I mean, it was exactly like I think I went in maybe with a little bit too high expectations. It was like good, not great.
Okay, yeah.
So it was like, again, like Noah's really good at these like main event 6-man tag matches, but I just looked at that and I'm like, oh, I was kind of like thinking maybe I was gonna get a notebook match out of that, and so it was a bit of a victim of like too high expectations.
Yes.
But it was still really good. And then maybe the only other thing I wanted to mention is Junta actually getting a singles win over Ninja Mac.
Which
But
I
I have to
saw,
say,
and I was like surprised.
yeah. He also like, but it was basically like Ninja Mac just beat the shit out of him for 8 minutes, and then he did a brief comeback and won. I don't know. It was a weird match structure. And I also have to say, I kind of looked down when Junta came out, and then looked up and was like, oh, who's this indie scummer? And I was like, oh, wait, that's Junta. So like, I don't know. I mean, it's ironic because then I was like, oh, okay, like this is just, it's over, isn't it? And then he wins, so I don't know. Who knows?
Did you watch the Kai Fujimura return match?
Yes.
How was that?
It was a good like young boy match, basically. Still don't really have a good idea about Kai. Like, I think Owada is obviously like more talented than him.
Yes.
But it's also pretty clear from the way he works. And I mean, we have like 100% confirmation now that he's not Cristobal, because I do think he's actually better than Cristobal. So was already kind of clear in this match. And we got a confirmation today that he 100% is not Cristobal.
So yeah, this show happened. I'm not sure if it's up on Wrestle Universe now, because
I don't think it is yet.
Okay. Anyway, this is in Ishikawa at the Ishikawa Industrial Exhibition Hall, in front of 1,316, no vacancy, which is actually a pretty good number for the show has. It's just a spot show.
Yeah.
Anyway, main event ended in referee stoppage because Cristobal was in.
And Kai Fujimura carried him out.
Yes.
So unless he's doing some weird like dimension tearing stuff, it's not him.
No.
So that then opens the question. So okay, so he's not very good, right? And this immediately reminds me of somebody else that came in masked to Noah once upon a time and was not very good.
Yuya Susumu?
Yep.
He
and
is.
I think it kind of fits height-wise, right?
They brought him back, eh?
Yeah.
I thought he was tearing things up in Great.
And great, yeah, he is there as well. So.
No, he's not. Sorry, he was.
Hmm?
No, his last appearance. Oh, he's working out of Freedom. Well, that's where he came from.
Yeah.
Tenru Project. Oh, that's where he goes. He's the Tenru Project International Junior Heavyweight.
I mean, we're gonna see if it's him, right? Like, I don't know.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. July 17th. Tenru Project International Junior Heavyweight title. Yuya Susumu defeats Yashi in 20 minutes and 28 seconds.
I mean, it's on Psycho.io. Can watch that if you want to.
If you dare.
But yeah, I don't know. Like that's my suspicion right now, is that it's him.
That kind of makes sense, and kind of makes sense for the quality.
Yeah, of the man of the yeah. Because I was like always like, yeah, Kai. I don't know. Kai Fujimura was like, I think he's solid, and then I was like, maybe he just can't really work well with the mask on. But yeah, now that I know that it's not him, I'm like, okay, maybe this is just someone that is not very good.
Mm-hmm. So that's Noah, and the N1 starts next Sunday, August, and goes for until September 1st, and that will be 9 shows. We'll cover all of that. On to Ultra Japan. It has been reported that Davey Boy Smith Jr. has signed a contract for 6 months with the company. Thoughts?
I think that's a good idea.
Yes.
And I think it makes it pretty obvious who's winning the Royal Road.
Yeah, that was my first thought. Also, but he's going to, because he's got dates in Mexico as well for the CMML Grand Prix, so he's doing those.
Yeah, but I mean, he has been announced as a participant, so.
Yeah, and otherwise in Japan. So
yeah,
that is.
I mean, again, like his Champion Carnival run was solid, so.
Yep.
And it's a 6-month contract, so very clearly they have some sort of plan here as well. Like.
But yes, I think Royal Road is what's happening.
Is he beating Anzai?
I think someone else is, but
yeah, I mean it's Yuma, yeah.
Well, I'm talking to people about this, and people aren't as convinced as I am that
Yuma's beating him.
Anzai. Yeah, that Aoyagi's beating Anzai.
Because my thinking is, right, a 6-month contract, like that does expire like around like New Year's, right, like January and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So you could give him like a quickie title reign in there, and then he like loses it to Kento. But again, I don't think he should be beating Yuma. I don't.
Well,
think
he
that-
seems to want a team with Kento.
So it could be that they're doing like that they're in the real world tag league. That actually might be a
Yeah.
good option as well, where like they win it and then you run them versus the Saitos on like early January.
Yeah. So, that's very in development, I suppose. I didn't actually see that coming, although I suspect he. So first up, we have Natsuki Nagisa Shiotsuki defeated Yufa and Kyoko Iwai in 15-12 with a dolphin swing from Shiotsuki on Yufa. Paul, did you watch this match?
No. Also, just real quick, we're talking about the Korakuen show from the 20th.
Oh, right. On the 20th, in front of 1,341 fans.
Weirdly, that's not a Supernova vacancy.
No, but it's their second highest Korakuen of the year.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, no. Like Honda, and people want to see the young guys.
The young guys, absolutely. The only.
I mean, Honda is a bit of like, he drew well against Yuma Aoyagi as well.
Yeah. And the only big Korakuen bigger was Kento versus.
Yeah, which, duh.
Yeah. So I just got to say for that actress time match, it was actually pretty good. I can't believe they got 15 minutes. It was probably probably the best actress girls match they've ever done.
Fair. I just saw them do the same dance they always do and kind of just zoned out until I saw Doi come out.
I don't know enough about actress girls. I just get the vibe that they've stabilized after the Marigold exodus, and now they have new talent being developed.
I mean, I'm going to be interested if like a bunch of them are going to start throwing like really stiff kicks now that Nakajima is their trainer.
It is very possible. So
I'll watch if that happens. I'll watch their matches.
Yeah, you see who gets knocked out basically. This first match of the show for the All Asia Tag Team title, Musashi and Seki Yoshioka defeated Mr. Saito Naruki Doi and Senor Saito Masada.
Very, very obviously.
In 11:58 with the Estrella Futuro from Musashi on Senor Saito to make their first defense of the title. Paul, I will say this. This was a solid tag team match, but when I realized who was there in that Senor Saito I was like, that's all you need. It was a perfectly good match. Had a nice little closing stretch. I worked around Masada well. There you go. Success.
Yep.
And then after the match, sorry, go ahead.
Well, my thinking was also like basically because I was thinking, okay, if they like debut someone here, like Musashi and Yoshioka are going to lose the titles. And then when I saw it was Masada under mask, I was like, yeah, okay, cool. They're going to defend the titles. Nice.
So after the match, Musashi appealed Doi to challenge for the PWF. Doi said he only wanted to face a contracted or a member of the roster, basically, which is sort of hypocritical since Doi's a.
Yes.
But then Musashi appealed to President Fukuda, who was sitting at the timekeeper's table, to become a member of the roster, and Fukuda said yes, or he gave these weird hand signals, yes. And
well, yeah, it's because it's like the Japanese always do like the O as the yes and the X as the no.
Yeah. So he was doing the O with his arms and everything like that. Anyway, Fukuda, this is all getting a lot of heat, like good babyface heat. Like I was saying earlier, like Fukuda's babyface himself now after this. And so Musashi is now a member of the All Japan roster, and the crowd seemed to love that. So that's a good sign. Paul, you know what I thought? This man is the new Atsushi Murayama.
Interesting. So you don't think he's going to get pushed?
He's 35 years old.
Yes. So is
and this is a company of youngins now. And but I think there's a chance I think he beats Doi for that title.
Yeah, I do think that's happening, yeah. And I think it's a massive W for All Japan to like get this guy.
Oh, I agree. But I'm just saying that they're gonna front load his push. And he's not going
to. No. Like, that's definitely the case. I don't think
he's not a long-term junior top player.
No. I mean, they have like two aces essentially that are both absurdly young still. So no, like you're not gonna like because you would have to like de-push one of them basically to like give that position to Musashi, and they're not gonna do that. But I do think he is going to be like a pretty important part of the roster because they do need a depth as well.
Absolutely.
Like they immediately go like get your title. I agree that they're immediately gonna go get your title win now, and then you're gonna be like putting over like Ryu Inoue in like 4 years or so.
Maybe even less.
Yeah. I mean, it depends when they finally like debut those trainees, so that Inoue can finally like. Well, actually, never mind. Yeah, maybe he's already getting a bit more of a.
I think that's right.
Well, I mean, it's literally the next match.
Yeah. So anyway, Shotaro Ishino, Ryu Inoue, Hideki Suzuki, Kuroshio Tokyo Japan, and Seigo Tachibana defeated Hokuto Omori, Kumarashi, Cyrus, Jack Henry, and Aizawa #1, 813 with a backdrop hold from Inoue on Suzawa. I thought, look, I enjoyed this for what it was. Hokuto Gun is growing on me. What can I say?
I mean, they redid the spot with Tachibana that him and Cyrus did in the Champion Carnival match, where he was doing his entrance, and then they like come out of like the entranceway while he's like up in the bleachers.
Yeah, that was.
And only this time, Cyrus was the only one that wasn't there because he was in the ring like assaulting Tachibana. But yeah, that was pretty fun, and I think the match overall was pretty decent.
Yeah. Then next up, Kohei Wada 50th anniversary match. Masanobu Fuchi, Jun Seto, and Rei Saito defeated Suwama, Dan Tamura, and Takao Mori in 9:42 with a choke slam from Rei on Tamura. I mean, this was fun, and Fuchi slammed Suwama a couple times, and I don't know. This wasn't about match quality, and I enjoyed it. And then they had a little 50th anniversary ceremony for Mr. Wada with Shiro Koshinaka and Masao Inoue bringing him flowers. And I thought Masao Inoue looked rough.
He was the worst looking guy in the ring, which is
he could barely walk, and he's lost a bunch of weight. But yet, Paul, he was announced for the Takayama Mania show in September.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know. I'm like, oh. He struggled really badly to step through the ropes. Like, genuinely concerning.
Yeah, and he looks sickly.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what's happening there. It can't be anything good.
So the match is Masao Inoue and Team 200 kilograms versus Jun Akiyama, Shuji Ishikawa, and Hiroyo Matsumoto.
Yeah, I don't know how that's gonna go. Like, I don't know how. Like, again, this guy literally couldn't step through the ropes. Like, how is he wrestling?
Yeah.
Like, I trust Wada more with like having a match.
I would trust Great Kojika more.
Yeah. No, he looked that bad. I don't. Maybe he just got up like that day and like pulled something just as he was coming out. Like, maybe it was just that. But
well, that's also
he looked bad.
You get out of bed. So when you start pulling stuff when you get out of bed, that's time maybe to
hang it up. But I mean, that was the case for him like a long ass time ago. Like, he's literally alive at this point. Like, same as Kojika. And then Kojika will literally wrestle like the day before he dies.
Yeah, I wonder if they're gonna have one of those oxygen in a way.
Look, it's the only people that need that are MJF and the Great Kojika. So.
And then for the August 17th Tachikawa Triple Crown #1 contendership, Yuma Aoyagi defeated Ren Ayabe in 11:50. And I thought this was a pretty good match. This is definitely on the upper tier of Ayabe singles matches. Ayabe still has a ways to go, but I thought he was bringing a little more intensity than he usually does here. And I mean, obviously, Aoyagi, when we talk about, as we were talking about earlier, about elite talent being able to carry more limited opponents, well, Yuma Aoyagi is that sort of elite talent. Mm-hmm. He make Ren great. And also, Aoyagi hadn't won with the end game in a while. So that sort of helped to reestablish that. So I thought it was a pretty strong match, at least just to set up the contendership.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like the match as well. Ayabe is still very much a work in progress. We'll see if he ever gets there. Like, I think in a worst case scenario, he ends up as the next Jake Lee. But you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, he's tall, so he's going to get chances forever. Because I think there's also a bit of a similar problem where the fire isn't always there. Isn't really there yet.
Here's the thing. Jake was a more coordinated athlete than
Ren is. So Ren definitely has to get better at projection, which he has improved, and he has improved. But he still has a ways to go. And yeah, Yuma obviously great worker, 100% correct decision here to put him over. And I don't know. I still believe that he is the one that beats Anzai.
I mean,
because
this
it
is
just makes too much
this
sense.
is a 3,000 seat basketball arena. You had to run like a big match.
Yeah.
And this is the biggest match they have technically right now.
Yeah.
Right?
And again, like Anzai he can't just beat everybody. Like he needs someone that he needs to overcome, and Yuma is just the best shot for that.
Yeah. And then next stream final special singles match. Kento Miyahara defeated Rising Hayato in 13:26. The Japanese leg roll clutch hold. I enjoyed the video package for this because we got to see some classic next stream footage featuring Jake Lee. Actually, quite a bit of Jake.
I mean, it's literally started out as a tag team with him and Kento, so you have to have Jake in there.
I thought this match was a little underwhelming. The last couple of minutes were good because they gave obviously Hayato some big spots, but I don't know. I feel like Hayato made a meteoric rise from where he was. You remember the Sugi match?
Oh
and
yeah.
All of a sudden he was like, "Damn! Look at this guy. He wants it. This guy wants it. Got a new gimmick. We're like this guy and." That's going to be like the Misawa and Kawada of the junior division going forward. And I feel now he's plateaued again.
Okay.
You think so? I don't know. I mean, I feel like I really liked his match when he won the title with Dan. And I thought the match with Doi when he lost the title was really good. But, I don't know. And this match I was expecting.
I mean, I just thought the match structure was weird. Like, I'm not even putting it on either guy. Well, I mean, I guess I can put it on them because they decided that this was going to be the match structure. But it was just weird that how much Kento was selling for Hayato. That just didn't make a whole lot of sense because he is still kind of the ace of the promotion. I don't know if he should be selling this much for a junior, and then him also just barely beating him on a roll-up too was very weird. I think that really was the thing that kind of turned me off on the match, that I just was like, why is Kento working from underneath against Hayato and then just kind of ekes out a win? That was just very odd. I just didn't understand that. And that just hurt my enjoyment of the match. I'm still willing to see if Hayato or whatever, what he does now going forward. If he just kind of stays where he is right now, then I agree, then he's going to be really good, but not excellent. If he actually does take the next step now, then I think he is going to be great. But I guess, maybe I get the concern if you can't have a great match with Kento Miyahara, that is a bit of a negative.
Well,
even Jake can do that.
And then in the main event for the Triple Crown, Yuma Anzai defeated Ryuki Honda in 21:42 with a gimlet to make his fourth successful defense of the Triple Crown Championship. Paul, I mean, okay, first of all, we had a mini quick discussion about this. This was a great match.
Oh yeah.
I don't think it was as good as their Champion Carnival match. And I seem to be a little lower on it than a lot of people who were really, really raving about it. I just thought, though, the first 15 minutes of this match, they wanted to go and wrestle like they were Kenta Miyahara and Yuma Aoyagi in terms of the slow build, methodical work, and then build up to anything. I thought they're not as good as Miyahara and Aoyagi are when it comes to building up a match, but when it comes to the big bombs, yes.
Oh yeah, no, they're amazing at that.
They're still working the complete match structure, although I'm very confident they're going to get it. These two are going to have amazing matches with each other for years to come, no question.
Yeah.
So I hate those possums.
Oh yeah, that was. Yeah,
so anyway, but Paul, you love this more than I did, so you go.
I mean, I loved it more than you did. It was an excellent match. I mean, it was one of the best Triple Crown matches. Although there have been a lot of excellent Triple Crown matches this year. But yeah, the bombs were just amazing. And to me, I agree that the slow build at the beginning didn't quite work, but the bombs were just so amazing. Some of these spots that they did, that spot where Honda catches the knee and reverses it into the final vent, that to me was one of the best spots of the year. I thought that spot was so good that they shouldn't have done it here. They should have saved that one as the finish for when Honda beats Anzai for the title. Because that's happening eventually, right?
Yes.
Eventually that will happen.
I mean, Honda should be Anzai for that title. That's
Yeah. Like obviously not on this reign, like because then that reign would just go on for way too long. But obviously Yuma.
I could see us still being 2 years away from a Honda Triple Crown.
Yeah. No, that's fair. But like, I have a controversial take. This won't be Yuma Anzai's only Triple Crown reign unless he like leaves the promotion. But still, I thought this was excellent. Just a hair's breadth underneath the Champion Carnival match, but I thought just excellent match, top to bottom. Like this is, I mean, it's crazy that they're this good now, right? Like they still have like very clear like weaknesses, but they're still so good at the things that they're good at that like once they kind of like iron out the kinks that they still have, like we could be looking at 2 all-time great workers. I don't think a lot of people really talk about Ryuki Honda that way.
No, but he really is. He is one of the absolute best. Where I think he's underrated.
Yeah, absolutely. It's because like anytime he's asked to deliver, he delivers.
Yes. And he even goes out there and tries against EC3, but
there was just nothing there. Like I think even Kento couldn't have gotten anything out of it.
Will Ospreay could not get anything out of it.
No, yeah. Like Will would literally just like bump around, but he would just literally have to like bump around without EC3 even doing anything.
Will would be taking bumps on his neck from these kicks.
Yeah, because like I need to do something here. Or he would do like the hidden blade, and then EC3 would just actually not bump. Or he would actually, you know what? Because people kind of like move their like head out of the way, right, with the hidden blade from behind and all of that. I think EC3 would not be able to like bend down and would just actually just get like knocked out, which might save the match.
I'm imagining the bump that Ospreay would take from the.
He would just literally bump out of the ring, just throw himself over the top rope.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he'd bump his head on the mat and then like flip, and then.
Over like the ring post to the outside.
Yeah.
No, but Honda is really underrated. Because he's not, because everybody talks about Anzai, which fair enough. Because he is amazing, but I feel like Honda is kind of getting lost in the conversation because of that, and he shouldn't be. He really, really shouldn't be. Like, because this is going to be a generational rivalry. Like, this is a Triple Crown match that will happen many more times. Who knows if, like, I don't know if they're gonna go the same route they did for like Kawada and Misawa. Right?
Well, too late because Honda's already beaten him.
Oh yeah, he's beaten him already. Yeah, never mind. Yeah, so he can't even do that. So, but still, like this is going to be like a Triple Crown match we're going to be sick of in like 10 years because they've run it into the ground basically.
Thoughts on Honda's new look?
I like it. That's actually probably one of his weakest things. Is like I think he's still really figuring out what his actual look is going to be. Like I don't even think this one is going to be the final one. Whereas I think Anzai has already found it. This is what he's going to look like forever.
The subtle black tighted jumper.
Yeah.
I thought Honda's tights looked amazing. Just the
red hair. The red hair is the tights. Yeah, I don't know about that one.
So that update on the G1 pool. I have dropped from 6th place to 11th.
Ooh, what? That's still way better than me in like 500 something. Wait, let me double check. Actually, wait, I actually have it open now. Because I actually just went through and checked like a bunch of people who like a lot of people picked like Yota Tsuji and like Zack Sabre Jr. as the winners.
Well, I mean, I think people.
But I'm not the only one that picked Drake Lee. So.
People went way too. I don't think Zach's winning this tournament. I'm shocked with how many.
Who do you think is winning then?
I went with the.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. Right. Okay, let me double check. I am currently at 535th. Yeah. Well, so I gave Jake Lee a win in literally every single match, and same with David Finlay. That's kind of going to hurt my points a little bit, especially at the moment.
Okay, so on this show, we got the Road/Odo tournament which runs from September 14th to the 22nd. And so we've got Ryuki Honda, Yuma Anzai, Jun Seto, Rei Seto, Kento Miyahara, Suwama, Yuma Aoyagi, Shotaro Ashino, Ren Ayabe, Hokuto Omori, Dan Tamura, Hideki Suzuki, Davey Boy Smith Jr., Kuma Arashi, Cyrus, and the returning Joel Rudman.
Paul, sure. Why not?
Thoughts on this lineup?
I like the lineup overall. I always like when Dan gets involved in like with the heavyweights. I mean, this is also an open weight tournament, right? So
Well, yes, but they didn't have any other juniors that did it.
yeah. And again, I do think they should move him up. I mean, we even have some Noah representation in there with Suzuki, so that's good. With Joel Redmond, I don't know. I mean, he's perfectly fine, right? Like he is perfectly acceptable. I have not seen a single match of his since he was last in like All Japan, so I couldn't really tell you what he looks like these days.
Yeah, neither have I.
No, so who knows? But I do know that he's going to be in that new like World of Sport thing. So I would assume that this is kind of like a one-off essentially.
You know, All Japan needs to bring back Danny Jones. That
Yeah.
was my first reaction to what I thought about Joel Redmond.
Yeah, I mean that's generally the reaction people have to Joel Redmond. It's like, well, I'd rather see someone else.
No, but
He's
I
fine.
know. Have you seen Danny Jones recently in the last year or two?
Not really, no.
He has really put himself together. He's rocking a beard down. He's put on a bunch of muscle.
Ooh.
And he's got that tag team partner, Brendan White. The Greedy Souls tag team.
Oh yeah, Greedy Souls.
So I was just like, and Brendan White looks like he was like a mid-card jobber in the 80s All Japan.
Yeah.
So I mean, I just think that they should see if this guy wants to come back. He would be definitely a better idea than going back to Joel Redmond.
Yeah, no, that's definitely. But who knows if he is even interested in doing it?
Yeah, exactly. You never know these things. But
You never know if like people are like, I don't want to like fly out to like Japan. But I don't know. If I was him, I would do it. Like it definitely gives you like better career opportunities.
So I'm thinking, yeah, I still look at this lineup. I still think it's.
Yeah, no, I think it's pretty clear that it's Davey Boy because again, would have to be someone that isn't either already getting a triple crunch or is like basically just after a triple crunch shot, right? So like both Yumas out because one of them is going to be champion. Like Ray gets a triple crown shot, Sendai.
I think
like June maybe.
I think Davey Boy gets some wins back. I think
Yeah.
Davey Boy beats Kento
in the final. I think that's the final.
And I also think that Davey Boy beats June.
Yeah.
Because
he gets like wins back from the champion carnival. Yeah.
Oh, I think June is beating Davey Boy in Sendai.
Oh, that way. Oh yeah. Wait, weren't they? Whatever. Yeah. Oh yeah, no, they were in different blocks. Never mind.
So I'll use that as a quick transition because we have a full card for Saturday, August 3rd in Sendai. First match, Shotaro Ashino and Seki Yoshioka versus Dan Tamura and Ryo Inoue. Second match, this is the Aizawa #1 send-off match. He's taking some time off because he is having a tumor removed, although I get the feeling this is like a not super serious.
Oh, like a benign one, basically. They're just like, okay, let's just cut it out, essentially.
Yeah. I don't know that for sure, but I don't know. I got this vibe from this. Anyway, it's Hokuto Mori, Kumar Rashi, Cyrus, Hartley Jackson, and Aizawa #1 with Jack Kennedy. It's with Jack Kennedy versus Yuma Aoyagi, Hideki Suzuki, Fuminori Abe, Kuroshio Tokyo, and Sego Tachibana. What a combination of team against
it's a Fire Pro random team.
And then we've got Musashi versus Koji Doi for the PWF World Junior Heavyweight.
You mean Naruki Doi? Because it would be weird if Koji Doi is in that match.
Sorry. I was thinking of Fire Festival finalist Koji Doi. So Musashi versus Naruki Doi, and I think Musashi could win, but I wouldn't be shocked if
I think this goes either way, but if they want to if that's like a little like goodie that they want to give Musashi because he signed,
Yeah.
Not against it.
So next up in the fourth match, this is listed as All Japan versus Elpida, even though two of the members here are actually not in the All Japan home army. Evolution. It's Kento Miyahara, Suwama, and Hikaru Sato versus Ryuki Honda, Ren Ayabe, and Rising Hayato.
Oh, also Dan left Evolution again. Forgot to mention
that's
that.
right. Dan did leave Evolution for the second or third time?
Yeah, I mean he'll be back in like 3 months. Seems to be a thing with Evolution where like someone leaves then comes back 3 months later. Sato has done that multiple times. Dan has done it multiple times. Even Suwama has done it multiple times. So yeah.
Yes. Interesting. Paul, they're doing this is a 6-match card. They're doing the intermission after the 4th match.
Oh, so there's some long matches in there then.
And
after the intermission.
And so the next there's 2 matches. They're called double main event. Double main event 1, special singles match, 60-minute time limit. Jun Saito versus Davey Boy Smith Jr.
60-minute time limit draw.
Match
No,
6,
there's no way. There's no way.
Double main event 2, 60-minute time limit. Triple Crown, Yuma Anzai versus Ray Saito. Paul, is this a 60-minute time limit draw?
They might, but I just, as much as I think this improvements that the Saitos have had, I don't think you can have Ray Saito go 60, right?
I don't think so, but one of the Saitos have to win one of their matches. It's the double main event.
Yeah, they're not losing. Not both of them are losing in Sendai.
Yeah.
And again, you can give Davey Boy his win back in the Royal Road, as he said.
Yeah.
Like I said, I really enjoyed what the Saitos have been doing. We can't have them go 60.
Well,
no way they have enough stamina for that.
June went 27 against Kento in the Champion Carnival.
And I already thought that was really impressive that he managed to do that. And we're talking about a match that is twice as long.
And Ray is a little
the more rotund one of the two.
Yes, the more rotund. Yeah. So I don't know. I just find it interesting. That's just to be, or are they just doing the intermission after the 4th match because they want the crowd rabid for the Saitos?
That might be a thing. It might also be that both matches go 30 minutes.
Oh, I think June versus Davey Boy might go 20 minutes.
Yeah. Definitely long matches either way.
How long? Saito versus Anzai in the. I mean, I have pretty high hopes for. They went 2057 in the Carnival, so they're going.
Yeah, so they can definitely go 30. That's for sure.
I have maybe unrealistically high expectations.
I am slightly terrified he's going to break his neck. But that's just every time he uses the gimlet. But then it's especially if he tries and does that on Ray. I don't know. Just use the backdrop.
Davey Boy Smith Jr. versus Jun Saito could be probably an amazing 10-minute power match. But
yeah,
but both of those guys can't do 20 again.
No, that it's gonna go too
long.
That's
the wrong. That June versus Davey Boy Smith is going to go too.
Yeah,
their skill sets. I think
it should be like a 10-minute Bloodsport style match where they just beat the shit out of each other.
Yeah, but I have a few double main events. The 20 minutes going to be very. I mean, they could have a nice 3.5 or 3.25 star match, but it's going to be 5 minutes of that. Okay, so they're going to start off hot with some shoulder blocks and some big moves. Then it's going to be a bunch of plotting nerve holds from June in the middle of this, and then a hot.
Yeah.
Anyway,
the crowd will be into it though. These the crowd two are gods in Sendai.
Yeah.
I mean, you mentioned it as well, right? Jay said that basically the Saitos are the biggest mainstream wrestling stars in all of wrestling.
Well, the taxi cab did it.
Yeah.
Now the question is does that put targets on their back? Because I think if you ask most people, myself included, you could not visualize the Saitos in Noah but if they are mainstream stars that are draws, does that then put targets on their back?
Or that they might get poached?
Yeah.
I mean, the other thing is still also their ages, right? Because they're peaking right now and they're pretty good, but I don't think there's that much future potential there. That's the problem with them.
Yeah, 5 years from now, they're
their bodies are also Ray's body type isn't exactly one that probably will hold up well.
He's already separated his shoulder.
Yeah.
And stopped doing the splashes. The top So you never know. I don't know. I mean, but then again, this is if they're draws, they're draws, and that makes them valuable.
Oh yeah. So they might maybe but then again, New Japan has never seen any value in tag teams.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Look at the heavyweight tag team division. It's dog shit and has been basically since forever.
Yeah.
Noah maybe because they at least have a bit more respect for tag team wrestling.
And look, Cyberfight has shown that they will do the celebrity stuff.
Yeah.
Right? First of all, DDT has had celebrities. They got the politician. They had that pop star whose name now, you got Uka.
Who's going to have another match, by the way.
Yes, that's right. He did a video during Peter Pan saying he's coming back.
Which, I know. If I'm DDT, I'm look, I will just pay you whatever you want.
Yeah.
Because you just literally had people hanging from the rafters on Kurikan.
Anyway, and then Noah's got Uka Sasaki.
Mm-hmm.
Cyberfight is got the celebrity bug, right? And
So I can definitely see them a lot more like wanting to do something
Noah.
with the Saitos then, yeah.
It's just the thought I had after I heard that, because I'm like, okay, these guys are. I mean, they do better than Jake.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. Let's say, okay, I think there's a very easy way to compare this because they are way bigger draws in Sendai than Jake ever was in Hokkaido.
Yes.
Because he is a little bit of a draw in Hokkaido, not an amazing draw. But like these guys are like legitimately selling out buildings.
Paul, can we call Jake a little bit of a draw in Hokkaido after the number he did against Naito? Or do you think that whole United Japan stuff is cursed? I don't know.
Yeah, that whole United Japan stuff, just nobody gives a shit. Either in Japan or outside of it. So,
yeah, but yeah. I was just like, that number in Hokkaido was for altogether.
No.
So anyway, so on August 17th, obviously we have Yuma Aoyagi, the winner of Saito versus Anzai. But we also have full cards for August 24th, which is the Reeve Presents Shiro Koshinaka 45th Anniversary Commemoration Tournament, supported by All Japan Pro Wrestling. So here is the matches. Ryo Inoue versus Ryuji Hijikata. Actually, I'm really looking forward to that.
Interesting.
Dan Tamura and Hideki Suzuki versus Kuma Arashi and Hartley Jackson.
Is Dan just actually moving to heavyweight now, right? Because he's like teaming with Hideki and just wrestling heavyweights constantly.
8-man tag team match. Yuma Anzai, Ryuki Honda, Rena Abe, and Rising Hayato versus Jun Saito, Rei Saito, Mr. Saito, Naruki Doi, and Senor Saito. Hokuto Omori and Cyrus versus Mitsuya Nagai and Minoru Tanaka.
Yeah, I'm always in favor of seeing more Minoru Tanaka.
Minoru Tanaka would mark the first great wrestler, if you don't count Hartley Jackson, on an All Japan once.
Yeah.
But Minoru Tanaka is also the kind of guy that would just...
Yeah, I think he basically is just like, I mean, who are you to say no to Minoru Tanaka? Do you want to risk saying no to Minoru Tanaka? Probably not, so you're just going to let him do what he wants.
And then we have Kento Miyahara, Musashi, and Seki Yoshioka versus Tatsumi Fujinami, Leona, and my translator has it as Ryuichi Takaiwa, but that's got to be Tetsushi, right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
I mean, there's no other Takaiwas that come up on Cage Match. I don't think so. This is otherwise like some
maybe
Takaiwa. So anyway, obviously Leona had called out Miyahara some months ago. So.
Oh God, I forgot about that.
Well, he's not in the Royal Road tournament.
Yeah, it's worked out well for him, I see.
And then...
What is he, a luchador shooting his own angles at like a Guadalajara show? I don't know.
And the sixth match, and it says there are no more matches to be announced, so I assume this is the main event. Shiro Koshinaka, Raisuke Taguchi, Kengo Mishimo, and Yuma Aoyagi, Suwama, Sotaro Ashino, Kuroshio Tokyo, Japan, and Seigo Tachibana. Paul, what is the... Do you know what the connection... Did we talk about this already? But what is the connection with Kengo Mishimo and Shiro Koshinaka?
Is there one?
I don't know. I honestly don't.
Oh, okay. I was like, there's something I'm missing here? Because I've never thought of these two men together, really.
Taguchi, obviously.
Yeah.
And then obviously Aoyagi, who has his affinity for ass-based offense.
Yeah.
But the Mishimo is the big...
Yeah, the Kengo Mishimo doesn't really fit there, yeah.
Is he like his uncle? I don't... Like, do you know what I mean? Like, maybe they're friends. Maybe
there's... I don't know.
There's some...
Is there anyone from Heisei Ishingun that isn't retired yet? That kind of did like an indie run? No, not really.
Kengo Mishimo would have been in World Japan at the same time as Koshinaka. He worked 3 matches for them, but they were not in any matches together.
Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. I just thought of someone. Well, I don't know if he has a connection to Kengo Mishimo, but there is a Heisei Ishingun guy that isn't retired yet. That is still pretty good. Akira.
Ah, yes.
And here I actually have something. So it might be Akira. So at Shiro Koshinaka's 40th anniversary, Kengo Mishimo teamed with Heisei Ishingun in the main event. So it might be Akira.
Interesting.
I mean, it might also be Akitoshi Saito in that case.
Kengo Mishimo, and they had the great Kabuki. So maybe he's connected to some of these guys related to them. I don't know. But I guess, okay, so it's not without precedence, I guess. Anyway, Tachibana is probably eating the fall here.
Oh, yeah, no, obviously.
And there's going to be a lot of...
Oh, no, wait. I have it even more on the nose. Akira, Kengo Mishimo, and Shiro Koshinaga defeat Kengo, Kotaro Nasu, and Yuya Susumu at the Tenryo Project show
when
in
was
2021.
This? Okay. I mean, Kengo Mishima looks like he could have been in High Sea.
And actually, they also teamed together at a Tradition show in 2024.
Okay. So
where they lost to Jun Saito, Mitsuya Nagai, and Yuma Aoyagi.
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah. This is interesting because this really isn't that much of a card outside the main event, and they're running Korakuen.
Yeah.
That'll be
this might be the worst Korakuen number of the year. Yeah.
Well, I mean, look, if they do 1,000 people for a Koshinaka anniversary show, it would not shock me because Koshinaka is a name from.
True. But the 40th anniversary in 2019 already only drew, well, it has the dreaded circa on cage match of 1,200, which means it was definitely not 1,200.
Well, we'll see what they... Oh, this looked like this was 2019. Was this also an All Japan supported? Because I just see Karbal Ito and Takao Mori defeat Yuma Aoyagi and Okada.
I mean, Kaito was also on that show. I think it was just a general people show up show. Like, if you look at that main event, it's like, I mean, in theory, at that time, that was like the next generation, right? It was Daichi Hashimoto, Kaito, Kumogami, Shotaro Ashino, and Endo. I mean, show. It's on tape. It has to be out there. I'm actually kind of curious to watch it now.
Anyway, so that's upcoming in All Japan. I think it's going to be a very interesting August. But I'm just going to reiterate that I believe that Yuma Aoyagi will be defeating Yuma Anzai in August.
Yeah. The only other thing I just thought of while we were recording was Ray beats Anzai, and then kind of Davey Boy gets his win back in the Royal Road by beating June in the final of that one, and then he beats Ray for the title and then loses it to Kento.
So then Ray would retain against Yuma Aoyagi?
Yep.
I don't know.
No, I do think Yuma just beating Anzai just makes the most sense.
I don't think it's. I think that Aoyagi's winning, but like I can't say that if Aoyagi won, or sorry, if Anzai won, I can't say I'd be shocked. I think it would be a better move, but I wouldn't.
I don't know. I do think, again, to me, like there needs to be someone that Anzai still has to like beat, and you can't just beat everybody.
But but he is the guy. So I mean,
he is obviously the guy. So it's not like he will never beat Yuma Aoyagi, but he shouldn't beat him now.
No, I know. That. Anyway, any final thoughts?
I don't know. Really excited for the N1. Really curious how that one is going to look.
I'm just going to go out and say again, I am expecting big things from Tavion Hine.
Yeah, I'm still curious for him because it might go either way, right? Like it might be him actually not being very comfortable with.
Look, if someone of his amateur pedigree performs poorly in the N1, I would probably chalk that up to whatever was instilled in his head at the performance center.
Oh, for sure. That is the problem here, because we also don't know how much of like a wrestling fan he was before he like started, right? Because maybe if he was like a guy that like, he got like recruited like straight away out of college. But if he was like a guy that maybe was already a wrestling fan, then I would definitely feel a lot more comfortable or a lot more like optimistic that he is going to be good. I do think to me, it's either he's going to be great or he's going to be bad, like actively dragging down his block. I don't think there's really much in between.
Exactly. So, and one prediction winner then, Soya or Oiwa?
Yeah, that's basically what it comes down to for me. It's Soya or Oiwa.
Yeah, I would. I'm going to go Soya.
I'm still going to stick with Oiwa because I don't know. Now I've kind of put that into my head with this whole Soya gets the title shot and on January, like at the beginning of January and back-to-back years. Only this time he wins.
Absolutely. So yeah, but I think it's going to be like there's enough depth on that lineup where it's like I think they can actually leave you guessing until like the last day.
Yeah.
I don't think it's
for sure.
Like that.
Like a Keno and everything is still going to be in the mix and all of that. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So finally, we actually are going to take a little bit of time off because we're not going to come back until some of the N1 has already begun and everything like that. And then we'll be back to talk about the possible 60-minute time limit draw between Yuma Anzai and Ray Saito or Jun Saito and Davey Boy Smith. So we will see you later, and we'll talk to you in a couple of weeks. Take care. Bye.
Do you like wrestling trivia? Then check out the 5-Star Match Game, the Pro Wrestling Quiz Show. I'm Joe Gagney, and every episode, I grill 3 contestants with 5 rounds of power-packed wrestling trivia. We have over 30 evergreen episodes in the archives covering WWE, AEW, Japan, Mexico, and much, 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 much more. Play along at home and check it out today.